Hey, look at me. Look at me. Hey, you. Look at me. Look at me. You looking? You're looking, right? You're looking, right? I want to tell you something. We, as a country, are way more united than they want us to think. Just wanted to share that with anybody who's feeling down today. Don't believe their crap. You and me, we're Americans, and there ain't no Republican or Democrat anymore. You're either an American or you're something else. Okay, quick programming note. If you guys could go down and click on that first link in the description and sign up for my locals channel, that would be awesome. There's just a lot of stuff that we talk about over there that we can't talk about here. Do you know what I'm saying? All right, I got a couple jokes for you. Why did the chicken cross the road? Marcus, that joke is really old. Why did the chicken cross the road? Okay, it's to get to the other... Joe Biden. Huh? Okay, here's another one. Knock, knock. Who's there? Orange. Orange who? Orange, you glad I didn't say Joe Biden? Wait a minute. Okay, one more. What did the pot say to the kettle? I don't know. What did the pot say to Joe Biden? I got you. You're making him the punchline to every one of your jokes, aren't you? Ding, 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 ding. How do I know that he's the joke? I mean, at this point, I know it's rhetorical. Because it's taking rogue teams of retired U.S. veterans and private citizens to rescue Americans behind enemy lines. That's how we're kicking this one off. It's a new segment. I'm calling it Rapid Fire YouTube Approved News you won't find in the mainstream media. I'm going to try to bring you as many stories as I can in the shortest amount of time. Because it's got to be YouTube approved, you know? That's why if you want the YouTube forbidden news, you gotta go over to locals. I'll see you there. From the Gateway Pundit, Operation Pineapple Express. Rogue team of retired U.S. vets rescue Afghan allies during secret missions conducted behind Biden's back. Heck yeah! A group of highly trained U.S. military veterans have been conducting secret rescue missions behind Biden's State Department's back, rescuing hundreds of Afghan allies and Afghanistans with their heroic efforts. They volunteered to travel to Kabul because they were afraid that Joe Biden was abandoning at-risk Afghan elite forces, leaving them to die at the hands of the terrorists. They felt it was necessary for someone to step up and were baffled that, quote, our own government didn't do this, end quote, former Navy SEAL Jason Redmond told ABC. We did what we should do as Americans. Heck yes. Heck yeah. Disgraceful from the administration, but awesome from Americans. And then there was this. Blew me away. You want to talk about citizen action? Glenn Beck's audience raises staggering $22 million in 2 days to rescue Christians trapped in Afghanistan. The Blaze previously reported that the Nazarene Fund is gearing up to extract approximately 5,000 people, mainly women and children. On Wednesday, Beck pleaded, quote, every single penny that you can come up with will go to flying those planes and getting those people out. In the first day, the fund raked in nearly $10 million. And by the end of Beck's Thursday radio program, the ever-growing total reached $13 million. And by Friday morning, the donations exceeded $20 million. You can continue to make donations to the Nazarene Fund here. Linked below in my description. Gosh, that's awesome. If the commander-in-chief won't do it, then we will. God bless you, Glenn Beck, and everybody who donated. All right, we're starting off with good news. Now, here comes the confounding news. Active duty retired naval intelligence members told they cannot disrespect Biden over Afghanistan debacle. Yeah, you retired guys, don't say anything mean, because we're trying to control the narrative over here, you know? Top leadership at the Office of Naval Intelligence informed active duty and retired service members they cannot condemn President Joe Biden amid the chaotic and now deadly pullout of American troops from Afghanistan. In an email from ONI's Chief of Staff, ONI members were reminded that per a uniform Code of Military Justice and Department of Defense Directive Clause, they cannot disrespect senior government leadership. This includes the President, Vice President, Congress, the Secretary of Defense, and more. Oh, you can't disrespect senior government leadership, you say. What are they, snowflakes? Per the same uniformed personnel policy, ONI members cannot participate in partisan political activity or distribute partisan political literature. An internal ONI member told the Daily Wire that these policies were more relaxed under the Trump administration. Seems like these snowflakes are experiencing a heat wave right now. The email goes on to claim that the policy extends to ONI civilians as well. These members were specifically directed to avoid, quote, being too vocal in criticism of, say, the president, end quote. You know the phrase in real estate, location, 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 right? Well, the lefties is narrative, narrative, narrative. But it's not like they're not going to act on it, because they already did. From the Gateway Pundit, Marine Battalion Commander fired for blasting senior military leaders for failures in Afghanistan. These snowflakes got control issues, man. A Marine Battalion Commander was fired on Friday for taking a blowtorch to the woke military leadership for their failures in Afghanistan that resulted in 13 U.S. servicemen dying. Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, a 17-year veteran, risked his career and pension when he posted a scathing rebuke of the senior military leaders who failed U.S. servicemen serving in Afghanistan. Quote, I want to say this very strongly. I have been fighting for 17 years. I am willing to throw it all away to say to my senior leaders, I demand accountability. First off, good on you, Lieutenant. Thank you for speaking for the majority of the country. He goes on to say, I'm not saying we have to be in Afghanistan forever, but I am saying, did any of you throw your rank on the table and say, hey, it's a bad idea to evacuate Bagram Airfield, a strategic airbase, before we evacuate everyone? Did anyone do that? And when you didn't think to do that, did anyone raise their hand and say, we completely messed this up? I think Patriot Jason 1 puts it well when he says, he gets relieved, but yet the Staff Sergeant TikTok video saying she would shoot Americans if they get in the way is okay.
Understand that if active duty military actually get deployed within the United States, that weapon is not just pointed at other people, other countries. It's pointed at you. If you do not get in your house when I tell you to, you become the enemy. Martial law.
Right, Jason? And this looks like her too, doesn't it?
Just thought everybody should know who reported him on Twitter today and got that tweet taken down.
These people. Well, I'm not an active or retired former Navy service officer, so I'm wondering if this should be criticized.
And in terms of ISIS-K, how many ISIS-K prisoners were left at Bagram and are believed to have been released from the prison there? And why weren't they removed before the U.S. pulled out to some place like Gitmo?
Well, I don't know the exact number. Clearly, it's in the thousands when you consider both prisons, because both of them were taken over by the Taliban and emptied.
I'm sorry. My headphones were a little clogged there. Clearly it's in the thousands of prisoners. Where are they all going? You don't think they're going to come here, do you? I mean, you got to think that the White House has thought about that.
The administration says that ISIS-K wants to or has the capability to attack Americans domestically in the United States or just in Afghanistan at this point?
No, that's not an assessment we've made at this time. Go ahead.
Notice how after that question, she couldn't call the next journalist fast enough?
That's not an assessment we've made at this time. Go ahead.
Your statement to the American people is that you haven't made an assessment yet on whether or not they could come here and harm us domestically? Like you haven't even thought about it? Like that's just not something you've thought about. Okay? But you're condescendingly answering questions about dogs.
I know you do keep the dog in the news in the briefing room, so thank you for that. As we've stated previously, Major has had some challenges adjusting to life in the White House.
My brain is numb. Can you at least just tell us and assure the American people that are behind enemy lines that you'll be able to get them out? Can you at least guarantee that?
Is the U.S. guaranteeing that you will be able to get out?
I don't think we can guarantee, but what we can do is work toward, and this is what the president directed the Secretary of State to continue diplomatic efforts.
No, you can't. If only somebody could have seen this coming.
The consequences of a rapid exit are both predictable and unacceptable. A hasty withdrawal would create a vacuum that terrorists, including ISIS and Al-Qaeda, would instantly fill, just as happened before September 11th.
If only. Just get our people home, Joe.